Hello, I'm Farmer Ray. You know why they call me that? Because back in the 40s and the 50s we used to grow things naturally. We didn't have chemical fertilisers and we didn't have pesticides, herbicides and fungicides, but we could grow things beautifully and the taste of the food was beautiful. More so, it had the higher balance of nutrients to keep you healthy. Have a look in the history book and you'll find that only 3% went to hospital with cancer back in those years. Now it's 93% who go to the hospitals with cancer. And you know why? It's because of the chemicals that they are putting into your food, either at the farm end or at the market end, one or the other. You are getting poison to eat. Let me share something with you so that you can have your own organic garden in your backyard and do it the right way. Do it the easy way and you will have food that will keep your body healthy. Why pay $10 a kilo for lychees in the shop? Here's a beautiful lychee tree in the backyard garden and it's only 4 years old. And this will give you buckets of lychees every Christmas. Olive trees are easy to grow and they're a beautiful addition to any garden. And when you see such a crop like you're looking at on your screen, every year you will get buckets and buckets of olives. You can salt them, you can bottle them, pickle them, you can even make your own olive oil. And there's an example for you to see. This is something that's a great treasure in every garden for every backyard. Now let me tell you something about olives. When the garden bed has been set up properly and with proper drainage and with proper soil, fruit trees absolutely flourish and the heavy crop you will get is very rewarding. Fig trees are another easy tree to grow in your back garden, and you know you can pay up to $2 each for a fig, and these are so tasty when you grow them yourself. So let me tell you something about these figs. Let me give you an idea of the beautiful properties that they have for the human body. Figs are a laxative, they're a demulcent, emollient, they're nutritive, and they're excellent for the bowels if you have indigestion because of the laxative qualities that they have. And the milk in the leaf and the fig is good for warts. Get rid of the warts with that milk. When you have rich, well-drained soil, sweet potatoes grow wild. And you can see here in the backyard garden of this place the enormous growth that there is there after the last rain. With properly well-drained soil and the trellises, we can now plant a new crop of climbing beans. With well-drained soil and plenty of water, bananas are very easy to grow in the backyard garden. And let's have a look inside here. Here is one example in your backyard what you can have. Now all you've got to do, that bunch there is just about ready to be cut, and as soon as you cut that, hang it up in the back veranda or the back of your house, and then of course you cut that trunk down and a new shoot will come up. Chocos are very easy to grow, and if you've got too many, as you can see here, you can have some presents for all the neighbours that you live with, or you can take them to the market. This particular vine is soon going to have literally thousands of chocos. And as you can see, all of these chocos on these vines, and the vines are only 2 years old. The miracle herb, comfrey. You can grow this in your backyard, and there is no more beneficial herb in the healing of cuts, abrasions, and its old name is knitbone, because if you have a sprained ankle or a broken bone and you apply this particular herb as a poultice with some cayenne pepper, you will find that the healing will take place in a quarter of the time that it normally would. How often do you go for a drive with your family? Go for a drive. Pick up some cow manure on the side of the road or some horse manure. This is what you need for your organic garden in your backyard, and you know something? That's cheaper than pharmaceutical stuff, that's cheaper than the chemical stuff, and it's better for the plant life. And the worms will grow underneath the soil because this is natural for them, it won't kill them. Now, in order of the strength of the homegrown organic fertilisers, always remember the chook manure is the strongest, then the cow manure, then the horse manure. But all of these fertilisers should be mulched down, because if you put them on your garden, when it's green, when it's new, it can burn your little seedlings. Now here is an example of a bed being prepared for tomatoes. It is now in the month of May, and these tomatoes will grow here sheltered from the frost, and within 3 months you'll have a beautiful crop of tomatoes in the springtime. Why waste the water from the sky? There's an example of a 3-bay water tank, and it's equipped with a pressure pump down there, and that doesn't cost a lot of money and gives you permanent supply of water from the sky. It's free. Now here's another example that you can make a lot of cash money every weekend in the farmer's market. This is aloe vera plants, and each one of those leaves that you can see there of the aloe vera, you can get from $2 to $10 a leaf for selling natural aloe vera to the customers at the local farmer's market. Now here's a beautiful tree, and that's a cross between a grapefruit and an orange, and the fruit is absolutely delicious and easy to grow in your backyard. Let me tell you something about chemical fertilizers and the herbicides, pesticides and fungicides that are put into the water or put into our soil in our garden, and the damage that it does. I'll explain this to you in the nitrification. You see, the conversion of ammonia to nitrates, it's performed primarily by the soil living bacteria and the other nitrifying bacteria. The primary stage of nitrification, the oxidation of ammonia, this is performed by bacteria such as the Nitrosomonas species and the Nitrobacter species. Now it's important for the nitrites to be converted to nitrates, because accumulated nitrites are toxic to plant life, toxic to fish. If there was too much of this in that water there that you're looking, it would kill the fish. And if there's too much in the soil, it is also very bad for the plant life. When there is the right balance of nitrifying bacteria there in that creek and in the soil, this creates a balance so that all living tissue can live okay. But if the nitrifying bacteria is not there and it's been poisoned, or if it's been put out of balance, or if it's been destroyed by chemicals, then all hell breaks loose in the ecosystem of living tissue. Plants get nitrogen from the soil, and by absorption of their root in the form of either nitrate ions or ammonium ions, this is what feeds the plant life. So it's important to keep the soil healthy. Nitrogen, it's present as a basis that makes up our DNA and RNA, and it's in the plants the same way. Much of the nitrogen is used in the chlorophyll molecules, which are essential, as I explained to you in the previous report, about photosynthesis. So, and if you don't have photosynthesis happening, you don't have healthy plant life. You have no life. So, let's look at what we do to make sure that our soil in the garden is looked after, and that there is no poisons put in there that's going to disrupt the balance. And one of the worst that you can put in there is Roundup. Nobody should ever put Roundup from Monsanto in, or glyphosate. Nobody should put that into any soil around the garden. It kills everything, and it kills the worms. And you cannot possibly have a healthy garden when you've used glyphosate in that garden. Remember, our atmosphere is 78% nitrogen. Don't forget that. And this is the greatest, the biggest pool of nitrogen. It's so essential, and in many biological processes, if it's not there, we would die. It's crucial for the life on this earth. And don't forget, there's 8 essential amino acids, and the component of